Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 27th of January. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Dominos Pizza, Pendle Group, Chic, Pendle and Webster and Brainchip. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter. But if you'd like our better ideas, you need to get the Dynamic Investor Report. That comes out every Tuesday. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is in portfolio management. So if you'd like to have a trading account with us and have me direct you personally, if I think you need to be buying or selling anything, then please let me know. And all the advice here is general only. So we've got the daily chart here of Dominos. It has traded poorly for the last few months. I mean, even after this big run up here, we could see during this period of time, you know, there was a lot of sort of lower highs, lower lows, a lot of closing on the lows. We could see with these big red candles, and obviously the big drop here was the extra warning sign. So, look, it is still in a downtrend. Given all this sort of price action around here, we may see some support here, but at the moment there is no evidence of that. So at the moment there's a downtrend. We need to see support come in and we need to see a base build. I think it's way too early to be buying this. Okay, Pendle. So look, I suppose there's been a number of warning signs that this uptrend was over. I mean, even if you held it through here, I think this big move down on volume, closing near the lows, would have been the major sell trigger. And then again here, you know, it couldn't really rally. It just got sold off and continued to drift. So fairly negative price action. Again, another big down day on big volume. We had recently we had a bounce here. So if we just sort of zoom in, we can see that, look, it tried to bounce, but clearly no follow through. Now it's rolling over again and we can see the volume picking up on the way down. I mean, interestingly, if we look at the weekly chart, so I've moved to a weekly chart. I mean, this thing's been in trouble for several years now. And that recent peak, we could see it made a lower high, another lower high. So it basically reversed right under that high, which again, warning sign. So it still looks weak, and I just think the risk for the moment here is to the downside. Okay, Chic. So just have a look at recent price action, daily chart here. We had this peak in October, so made a new high, came back, sort of came back to support. Just zoom in. Okay, so it came back to support, tried to rally, and then just put in another what seemed to be a lower high, and basically this looks like a head and shoulders top, but we wouldn't have known that until this down day here. So that would have been the clear sell signal, you know, breaking of that neckline, tried to rally back up. We could see it stopped exactly at that level, $6, and then it's been sliding ever since. So obvious sell signals here. Now we've got volatility picking up, so we've got this sort of big collapse in the share price. It's tried to rally, being sold off again. So all of this volatility is not what you want to see before you buy. You want to see the share price settle down and have smaller ranges like here. This is not what you want to see. So I think it's high risk here, and most likely it'll head lower. Pendle and Webster, so look, another one that's in trouble, and I guess that became obvious sort of in September, October. So if I just zoom out a bit, we could see that the all-time high was sort of around 14, well, the October high last year, and it sort of managed to just get above that, but then got sold down, which was a bit of a concern. You know, it tried to rally again, and then we could see it reversed. It couldn't sort of get back above that $14 level and reversed. So, you know, if you're still holding on, I think here's where it started to become I think pretty obvious that it was going to struggle, especially after this move here as well. So I suppose a few chances to indicate to get out. Big volume on the way down here. It's been struggling ever since, and volume's even picking up on the way down, which is not good. You know, if I move to a weekly chart, we could see that, you know, we've got this sort of big range here that it's trading in. So look, it's at the bottom of the range. Hopefully it can bounce off that, but this may well just be one big topping pattern, and obviously a break here near $8 would be a big negative and could send the share price plunging. So keep an eye on it. It really needs to bounce off $8. We can't see it be breaking that. Okay, and Brainchip. So sort of interesting, obviously the last several weeks, so we've had this sort of big basing pattern, and the breakout from the base, such a long base, as we say, always leads to a strong move. So we've got the strong move, but I think that's over for now. Yeah, clearly the rally's over, so it's pretty much been up, you know, most days, you know, only one day down and then before it recovers. But here we've had that sort of reversal here and then the gap down. So we've got the top there, it needs to consolidate. Obviously to absorb this sort of move here, you know, whether it pulls back, goes sideways, we don't know. But, you know, even if it builds a base, we may well see something similar to, if we go back to September 2020, again, you could almost be forgiven for thinking that this is the most recent move. So very, very strong move, pulled back, but then as I zoom out, you could see, just try that again. So as we zoom out, you could see that it basically built a base for, you know, for over a year. So will we see that again here? Impossible to know, but I think the chances of any sort of massive move up from here are very small. All right, well that's all for this week. As always, if you would like to send a stock through, please do. We get lots of requests. I'll try to include it at some point.